Hello friends, it's Cindy Brumbaugh from CindyLeeBDesigns.com, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today we're going to be using the Cutest onesie bundle with these sweet little dies that cut out the onesie and some great little sentiments to welcome a new one. And I can say that we welcomed 2 new ones in the last 2 months, baby Hannah, and 2 days ago we got baby Lillian. So I have been on grandma duty, and may I say, if you set a child up with an ink pad and a stamp and you tell them to put the stamp in the ink pad, do not turn your head for 1 second because their whole hand will go in an ink pad, is what little Gwenny did. She, oh, look, Amy, it's on my hand. Oh, and I said, well, it's going to be on there for a long time now. So I have a little break with Poppy having the girls. So I'm going to show you how to make this fun fold. It is a tiered, like a cascading tiered fun fold. I did get the measurements for the DSP from Really Robin Stamps. Thank you. And she has a really cool way of cutting the DSP that Shannon, one of our Stamping Up home office people, gave the tip on. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to use the Full of Life paper. This Full of Life has every color that we have, I swear. So I thought it would be great to make it that whimsical look for a new baby, and it could be boy or girl because of all the different colors in it. So here, let me show you. Now we're going to make a different one. I'm going to do something different on the back of the card we're going to do, but we're going to start out with the card base. And what you do, let me get my little pieces. These are the colors I picked out to do. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do with our 8.5 by 11. So we're going to measure on opposite sides. So let's go to the top. And we're going to put a tick mark at 3, okay? Putting it at 3. Now, if that's at the top corner, diagonally to the opposite corner, you're going to go in 3 inches, okay? So this is a really common fun fold that you'll see a lot of demonstrators doing. And so to give credit to any person, I think everybody's done it, but you can make 2 cards out of this. I'm bringing maybe I can move my camera up a little bit so you can see a little bit more. I'm not usually adept at doing that, but we're going to put our 2 tick marks so that they both can fit on my blade. I'm using my guillotine cutter, my old Stamping Up one, because I love the crispness of it. Sometimes when I use my trimmer, I get a little bit of a little indentation on my cut line. So you know, our husbands have screwdrivers and tools for every single thing. So should we. So we're going to put the 1 tick mark here and the 1 tick mark here. So you're going to have 2 corners hanging out the sides. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure that I've got that. It's a little hard to see, but I want you to see. It's a little easier on the trimmer, but one of the tick marks is there and 1 tick mark is there. And then I'm going to press down on here. And like I said, I do believe when you use your trimmer, it's a little easier. It's just either my trimmer needs cut, but right on that point, you can see you've got 2 cards, okay? Now we're going to take those and we are going to use our scoring tool. And we are going to score. We're going to take the 11-inch side and put it up into the corner there. And we are going to score at 4 1/4. And that's on the tallest side here, okay? 4 1/4 and again at 8, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and do it the same here. I did have a card that I did it 2 opposite ways, which I'm going to try to do it with this one after my brain settles down here. I literally have total grandma brain. So these are our card bases. Now you can do this card base. You can fold it this way and open it this way, but you could also, if you wanted to, now I was playing around with white here, you could also do it. Okay, this is this one way. You could also do it this way. So whichever way you want to do it, you could fold it whichever way. This way you're going to cover something here, and then that was on the back. And like I said, I just made it opposite. So just depending on which way you want to do it is Okay, but we're only going to do, actually, why don't we do it that way? Let's pretend this is white, okay? And we're going to have it go this way, okay? So you just use your bone folder to get some nice burnished on the score line. And I see something. Okay, so we'll do it the opposite way just so you can see how it turns out, okay? So the little trick I want to do here, actually, I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it this way because I like the way I'm going to stamp up here. So we are kind of going to do it that way. And if you have any of your little pencil marks, you can get them off of there. Okay, so the trick with putting the DSP on, Robin had these measurements: 4 by 5 1/4, 3 1/2 by 4 1/4, and 2 3/4 by 3 1/2. These are all your height measurements. The second one, I'll go ahead and put it there so you can see it. Okay, so the trick with doing this is you're going to have one that is going to be going on here. You're going to have one that's going on here, okay? And, oh, you know what? I have another piece here. And then you're going to have, I'm going to put a piece of white on in here because I want to stamp there, okay? So I'm going to say that we can do 2 of these ones, which I did have 2 of them. I'm just wondering where they are, where that other one is right now. Okay, then I'll just cut one more, and it would be, we can throw this one in and it could be there. Okay, so we're gonna do 2 of the medium size one, 3 1/2 by 4 1/4. So I'm gonna cut that, 3 1/2 by 4 1/4, 4 1/4 by 3, and oh, here it is. This is the one that I actually, so we're gonna put that on the inside and we're gonna have stamping. Okay, so think of it this way: small, medium. Instead of doing the large one, I'm actually putting white, but we're still gonna cut it the same way. Now the trick to doing this, I have found, is I'm gonna take my pencil again, because I'm not gonna trust my measurements. Shannon gave the tip of putting your paper with the 1/8 inch border and then just bring it up to 1/4 of an inch, and then when you cut it off, bring it back down. But I'm actually, you could do that. I'm going to just be a little bit obsessive about this, and I'm going to just measure and put myself a tick mark right there at 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, okay? I'm gonna do it here too, 1/4 inch, right there, and in here as well, 1/4 inch. But like I said, if you just wanna fly by the seat of your pants, you can just gauge it and say that your eye can see 1/4, but I just went ahead and did 1/4 inch, okay? Now this is how simple it's gonna be to make all of our pieces. We'll start with the largest one, okay? You're going to put your edge right at that 1/4 of an inch, okay? Make sure you've got the same amount on each side, okay? We've got 1/8 of an inch on the right and the left, and then I put it right where I drew that. Now this is where you just want to be careful to make sure you're nice and straight. I'm putting it right at that pencil mark. Then I'm going to pick my card up, I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to trim off this white here. Being careful. How many of you, when you go to trim off, always end up cutting into the card base? So I'm going to try not to do that, but I sometimes do. It looks like I did it right. Now, when you pull this back down into the place it's going to be, you have the perfect 1/8 of an inch, okay? So since we're going to do this one and have the colored paper here, it's a little different than this one. This one has paper on the back and on the front and on this, so that you can see it this way, and the message goes in the middle, but I wanted to put the message here. So this is my big piece. Again, we made this 4 inches by 5 1/4. We pulled it up to a 1/4 inch up, trimmed it off, and pushed it back down. Now we're gonna do the same thing with, what did I decide that I wanna put? I like these ones. We're gonna do the same thing here with this one. We're gonna put, see, I'm putting this right at the 1/4 inch mark. Oh, I can bring my camera down a little bit so you can see now. I forgot I pushed it up. Okay, so we're gonna put that at a 1/4 of an inch. And actually I can take this and set it aside. And I'm making sure I have the same amount of space. I'm covering up my pencil mark, and I have about 1/8 of an inch on the left and the right. Okay, I'm keeping it in place, and then I'm gonna trim. I love this tip that Shannon did, because you know how many times I've actually went through trying to get all kinds of measurements, but this is the slickest way to do it. And then that one is gonna go there. This one folds over like this, and we have to put one here. Actually, I wonder if we can just, because this one, well, let's just do it the same way. It always helps to see it done again. I'm going at the 1/4 of an inch, right? Remember, that's the 1/4 of an inch mark that we made with our pencil. We've got 1/8 of an inch on both sides. We're lifting this up. We can let this fly out here. We just want to remember where we're putting the DSP. Hold it so that you're cutting it right. I don't know if it slid on me there. I think we're going to be okay. Yeah, okay. Throw that. I have something I'm going to do with all these. I have a couple of them. Okay, so once again, we have our 4 by 5 1/4, upped it, cut it. This one was 4 1/4 tall and 3 1/2 wide. Remember? Wait, it went this way though. Okay. So this medium piece was 3 1/2 inches wide and 4 1/4 tall. Then this folded like this, and we had to do this piece, right? And once again, that was 3 1/2 by 4 1/4. We put this up to that mark, trimmed it off, and pulled it back down. Now this one folds over, and we're going to put one here, okay? And this one is 2 3/4 wide and 3 1/2 tall. Once again, we just put that right at the pencil mark. Open up this, hold it in place, trim the DSP, and when we pop it back down, we have a perfect border. Okay, now let's put this together so that we can see how this is going to look. I had a glue that was functioning wonderfully for me. All these colors that are in the Full of Life, I just love it. And I thought the dark card base really made the colors pop a little bit more than when I did the white colored white base. Okay, and then we just kind of try to get a equal border. Okay, then, and you can mix and match these. Like if you wanted to flip and do, you know, like this and this, whatever you want to do. I just kind of went with some different designs. There's so many of them, and they're so random that, let me make sure this one's going this way, that whatever colors, most every page has different colors in it, and they seem to just glide together. As far as, not glide, but like they just seem to coordinate nicely together. And then we're going to put, now it's sometimes easier to open this up so that you can see the edge, especially if you're showing somebody how to do this. Okay, so remember that we've got some color and color, and then we're opening it up, and we're going to put these fun. And if you come to a paper, like some of the papers in the Full of Life just are not, don't have every single color in them. They have the yellows and blues and greens or something. And a lot of them have the white, the wash color, the watercolor wash. You can just play around and see which ones you prefer to have on your card. Sometimes it's not so bad when the glue's coming out sketchy. Okay, and we're going to put that on this one. There we go. Have some color on the inside of the card. so you can see all that fun color that's happening on there. Just reminds me of baby clothes, because the clothes that I was sent over for my granddaughters, they all are a mishmash of all kinds of crazy stuff. And you know, I found that it doesn't matter what matches or not. It's all depending on what that little girl wants to wear that day. And don't you dare put on the socks that are her sister's, because those are hers. So it's been quite a an education for me. I had 2 boys then, my girl, so my girl was just like another boy. So what we're going to do is we're going to stamp our onesie, and I'm going to show you a little trick I do to get a good die cut there. So I'm thinking that I want to do my little onesie in, and I'm going to pull out my little mat here, because it's good to have a soft surface under your photopolymers. So I'm going to do Granny Apple Green for my onesie. And I am going to put a little t-shirt pocket on it. Because I'm not kidding you, little Harvey, we found an acorn, and my husband was like, where did that come from? Where'd that come from? And I said, actually, it was in his pocket in his t-shirt. He put it in there. Oh gosh, that little, he's 2 years old today. Okay, so we have our little onesie, and I am going to show you how I, originally I was going to pop the little t-shirt pocket off, but I think I'll just show you. I just die cut the onesie, and this is just my just a normal die cut. And before I cut it for you, I'm going to show you. Let me get a plate here. Here we go. So I'm going to do it right on my cutting board, because you will appreciate me not having to move it. So I just take this little template here, and I just tape it with a little temporary tape around the image. Whenever I see that I have the perfect amount of white the whole way around it, I'm going to tape it down. This is a little trick I talk about a lot, but a few people say, I don't exactly understand what you're talking about when you say that you put a template around it. But that's what I do. Then I open up my dies. I take the little die, and now I can just pop it into, and you may think this is a little bit of trouble to do, but how many of you have die cut this and then it's off really crazy? Now let's just pray to Stampin' Jesus that this die cut's okay for me. And in the meantime, look at the cute little rhinestone buttons on that onesie. Okay, so now I'm going to run this through and hope that my little trick I was showing you doesn't prove me wrong. So then when I die cut it, I have a perfect little white around it. It did move a tiny bit, but I'm okay with that, because sometimes if you put it around, like your die around the image, you're not really quite sure exactly where it's, sometimes it covers it up, and that does help me a bit. But I have to admit to you, when I was rolling that, my one acrylic plate is pretty warped, and so it did move a little bit on me. I should have had it taped down a little bit better. So I'm actually going to do a little trimming. But normally, whenever I did that, it should have solved the problem of not having to do this. But when your plate is warped a little bit, it will move a little bit crazy. So, you know, some people think that we stampers have it so easy. Well, our craft does demand a bit of us. Okay, so we have this cute little onesie here, all snipped up and ready. And it's going to be going on the front of here. And I really wanted it to pop off. So I made a blue berry bushel circle there for him to sit on. And then we're going to put a little congratulations to go across there. And we're going to put some more rhinestones. But we're also going to put Oh my gosh, look at this, guys. I never even knew this. There is a little cut in that die. Oh my gosh, see, I won't mess up this time. Like I did on the ice skates, my friend Cheryl told me no less than 5 times that the laces go in the slit. The laces go in the slit. And I'm like, yeah. And then I made the card and I sat here and fumbled with it and forgot to put them in the slit. So I'm not going to do that this time. You put that cute little hanger right in there, and then I'm going to put a dimensional on each side of it, and one down on the bottom, and then we're going to put it onto that blueberry circle that gives it like a little pizzazz there. There we go. And then we're just going to put some glue across our pennant. And you know where this pennant came from? It's the Happy Little Things dies. Those 2 little dies. Don't forget about those 2 little dies for $12. And they did come in a bundle with some really fun words. And don't forget about those because we have a lot of little skinny words. We can use that. Okay, let's see. Does that look about good? Okay, there we go. And I think I may just pop this. I think I may pop this off the card too. Just feeling poppy today. There you go. No, actually, Poppy's doing me a solid favor by taking the girls down to the shed to play with their little dollhouse down there. So I'm going to put that kind of on an angle there. And there are some other cute little dies in that set. There's a baby rattle and 1, 2, 3. And I decided to do the 1, 2, 3. So maybe, oh, wouldn't that look cute here? 1, 1, 2, 3. How about that? Okay, I have a 2 in a different color. Oh, that's a great thing. I wasn't even planning. I was planning on putting it around the onesie, but I think I'll do that. And those colors, oh, yeah. I mean, because you see the blue here and you see some balmy in there. So we're going to do the 1, 2, 3 there. Now that's going to take a little bit of ingenuity in getting that glued on there because this glue was, oh, there, it's deciding to cooperate with me. Okay, so at least I have my nails done today. Okay, so we're going to put a 1 and a 2. Oh, I think this needs a little more glue at the top of the 2. Okay, sticking to my finger, that's okay. I don't mind that. 1, 2, and a little 3, because you can see some of that berry burst peeking through there. So 1, 2, 3. Congratulations. Okay, and then we can play around with the inside one here. And we're going to put, when I did this before, this one, do you notice I stamped some little hearts in there to kind of jazz up that paper there and fun sentiment in there. But I thought the sentiment would look cute on there. So I'm going to do that. So I think what I'm going to do is we've got a few different colors represented here, but we want to put on the Welcome to Your. So looking at this, I'm almost thinking the berry burst would be fun to put, I think it would really jump out there. So welcome, a big welcome to your. I'm gonna just get that in berry burst. And I know I have a lot of space up here, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to, I'm not gluing it down in case I really mess it up. But I've got it there. I know where it's going to be. Get some stamping there. And I'm going to, I want to do it on the angle, but no, it has to be straight. A big welcome to your, and it's new baby. And I think that, I almost think the Granny Apple green, because you've got some pink and some blue there. So this could be a boy or a girl card. You know what? This is looking a little funny to me. Nope, it's good. Because the photopolymer was stamped in Berry Burst first, it just is stained. And I wanted to make sure I didn't have the wrong color. Okay, a big welcome to your new baby. I might have to just jazz up there a little bit. Where's my Granny Apple marker? Yeah, I just want to get this a little. There we go. I don't know if I made it worse or not. It just looked like it was. Okay, so welcome to your new baby. And then wishing you lots of joy. Now, wishing you lots of joy, you see a lot of colors in here. So I'm thinking, oh, I'm so itching to use pumpkin pie on this card, but you really don't see it that much. A little bit of orange on this. What the heck? Let's just put some orange on. I think orange is kind of boy or girl too. Wishing you lots of joy. Pumpkin pie. Get that as straight as I can. There you go. Put that away. Put that away. Now we can glue this on. I don't want to turn this over because I think it's a little wet. So I'm just going to put a little glue right where I know it's going to be going. Put a tiny bit. I didn't do big blobs in there, so I'm not going against my rules of not putting blobs on there. And then you just get that nice 1/8 inch border around there. And they do have a little heart that I showed you on that other one. So I'm going to do a little berry burst heart down here. There you go. Okay, so is that so cute or what? So I think we should put some rhinestones on here. Just going to get my rhinestones out here. And I did have 2 little ones that I put on for the buttons down here on the onesie. 2 of the smallest of our rhinestone jewels. Just covering up the ink there. Okay, and then I want to just pop on a couple more. I think I'll stick one here. Stick one up here. Yeah, kind of just opposite each other. Those are the rhinestone jewels. Pop them over there. Oh, this little guy, make sure he goes back where he's supposed to be. So there you go. You have a cascading fun fold. This one, you have all the colors showing like that. I like having a bigger place to write in there. I just kind of like seeing this welcome there, but I do think this is really cute too, and having it in the middle is fun too. I would say you're still using 3 pieces of the DSP. You've got 1, 2, 3, and this one I did 1, 2, and 3 here. So I think that is a cutie. And actually, I might actually, well, actually, I think I didn't know that that was there because I didn't die cut this one. So this one, don't even have to worry about die cutting. Just do some punching. You stamp that, punched it. And remember those little measurements there? I'll have these measurements written down on my blog. You can, underneath the YouTube description, it says visit my blog here. You just press that link, takes you over to cindyleeBdesigns.com, and you can see the measurements and links to my online store and additional photos of these cards. And also, you can see what's going on Stamping Up there. You can subscribe to my blog, and I like to post Monday, Wednesday, Friday with a video on Wednesdays. You can still sign up for the Busy Bee Bag till November 1st. I'll be using the Everyday Details dies along with the, I think, Thinking of You. Do I have it sitting here? I did have it sitting here. Oh, You Are Beautiful. I'm using these fun dies. So if you don't have these dies, and I'm using this beautiful stamp set, You Are Beautiful, that I'm going to pair up with these dies. If you don't have these stamp sets, you can add them on. If you do have them, then you're good to go. If you don't want to use these ones, but still want the fabulous kits that I create that can be used with any stamp sets, you could also add on a stamp set or a die, comparable die, and a stamp set for no shipping because I ship it to you in the Busy Bee bag and I pay for the shipping. So a great value, 8 card kits, different ideas to put together with a video and also a PDF instruction with pictures. So I'm really smitten with this one. And I think it's, you know, I've got 2 little granddaughters. And I just realized how much at Harvey's birthday party on Saturday, he, of course, got all the boy toys and he got trucks and bulldozers and my granddaughters were playing with them. And I realized they don't have those. So Christmas, Amy B is going to be getting the girls some top loaders, front loaders, dump trucks, bulldozers. I think they're really going to like it. Thanks for buzzing by, friends.